Okay, so starting this video off on a bit of a different note. He's been dying to do this for ages. Okay, you've got... Oh, are you eating something? Oh man. I can't be eating something on my YouTube channel.
And you're just like going, oh Jesus, what the hell?
No, see, you can't be eating stuff on my YouTube channel, come on.
Okay, anyway.
Finish what's in your mouth first. And what I do and...
Yeah. Is it about you or me?
No, it's about me, but
Yeah.
I'm letting you introduce the video.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Off you go then.
Okay.
Off you go.
Hi everyone, I'm Cian, Stephen's little brother, and today I'm introducing Stephen's new video that's going up tonight. I'm just telling you all about Stephen. I think he's a great man. He does what he needs to do. I'm glad to be in his videos. He helps you all, and I'm glad he
Can you start at the end of the video?
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Stephen's little brother, Cian.
Relax and just
Sit
enjoy
back.
the rest of the video.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you, everyone.
Smash the thumbs up button and subscribe.
So smash the thumbs up button and subscribe, and make sure to comment and leave questions down below. Brought to you by Cian Conway and Stephen Walsh.
Yes, Kino. Job done.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, go on. Off you go.
Have fun. Do you need anything else?
Yeah, I'll give you a shout.
Yeah, if you need me, I'll be just in next door.
And there you have it. As much as I'd like to say I've paid him to do that, I actually haven't. He has been dying for a long time to have his chance on the vlog. I do love the little man, and yeah, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of the video. The whole point of this video was to give you guys a little bit more of an insight into me, who I am, what I do, why I do it, and more so just that there's a little bit more of a connection, because I think I've never really sat down and been like, okay, this is who I am. And I feel it is really important that you guys that actually watch the videos, and even the members in the gym that watch these videos, get a better kind of representation of like what I am and what I do, because then it makes it a little bit easier then to kind of connect and feel that I can provide you some value. Because at the end of the day, the YouTube videos are made because I enjoy making them, but they're also to try and provide you with some value, whether that's in your training, nutrition, and anything like that. Okay, so into the quickfire one. 24. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Sport and Exercise Science from UL in Limerick 2 years ago. And since February I've been working in Fit 100, and obviously we are now waiting for the new gym, which you will see soon. I've been heavily involved in soccer coaching since I was about 16. So as soon as I turned 16, did my kind of introduction coaching badges and started coaching soccer for free in spare time, rather than just getting a job that obviously would have paid me money. So coaching soccer for free at the weekends, during the week, up until I was about 20, 21 before I actually started to get paid for it. And then it was in my third year of university that I went to Wolverhampton on my placement, so a compulsory placement module for a minimum of 5 months, and I was there from January until late May, and I was working with the kind of the academy setup and the sports science department. So the sports science and the medical and the physio department are obviously all interlinked, so I got a good kind of feel for kind of each of those three sections, and I kind of were involved with all the age groups from under 8s all the way up until we say like under 18s. It was more so up to 16s, and then I was just present to watch and kind of observe then 18s, 21s, and got to watch a couple of senior first team games and training sessions, which was good. And it was there then that I started to kind of develop the fascination and the interest then in youth athletic development rather than working with adults, because I think it kind of fell in a little bit more in line with my coaching, and then I could run the coaching and the strength and conditioning side of things alongside each other. I still obviously do have a passion for helping people, helping adults with all sorts of goals, but my main the passion and main line of work lies with athletic development and youth strength and conditioning. So in that area, I just find it a little bit more interesting, because there's a lot more to, we'll say, athletic development than there is when you go down the road of being involved in body composition changes in terms of fat loss and muscle gain. There are obviously certain principles that you have to adhere to, and it's just about getting an individual to fit into those principles that they can adhere to then. And again, that does interest me, and I obviously know some people who are fantastic at that, but it doesn't interest me as much as taking someone who is technically very good at their sport, but they want to improve physical strength, speed, power, all those things that will add to their game and benefit themselves in the long run. And yeah, so it was that during that placement where I grew the passion for that area. So coming out of college 2 years ago, I was unsure of what I was going to do. I knew that the area that I wanted to go into was sports or soccer coaching, and obviously strength and conditioning. I had it set in my mind that I didn't want to work in a commercial gym. And I say commercial gym because I'm talking about gyms where you pay your membership and you get a key card, and you just routinely pay membership every month, and you go to the gym once or twice a week, and as soon as you're in the door, nobody cares about you. You're just left to go and do what you want, and that's not, I felt like it was going to be a waste of my time if I went down that road. So a bit of a funny story. About 2 years ago, Cullum had advertised for a place. He was looking for a coach in Fit 100 roughly in and around May time, and I'd actually missed the advertisement, and it was a day late. And I emailed him anyway, just out of curiosity, being like, oh, seeing you advertising, I know I'm late, blah blah, and then responded to me saying that the position had been filled, but I would have been suitable for the role. And it's funny looking back at it now that 2 years later, I'm there now in a much better position than I would have been had I gone straight in there. So a little bit of a funny segue in there. I'm not sure if Cullum remembers that, but the more you know. So yeah, out of college, didn't know what I was going to do, so then I decided that I wanted to try and bring some of what I'd learned on my placement to here, because it's an area where we are severely lacking for one reason or another, between lack of PE in schools, a lack of physical education as a whole everywhere, and that link between S&C as a broad term, and child development, never mind athletic development, just developing children into healthy adults, and then just progressing them from there. And that's when the elite performance coaching thing started, because it was a way then for me to help as many people as I could, and start to actually affect change in certain mindsets and certain myths around, obviously, S&C with kids. Should you do it? We all know now that you should. I've written numerous articles on the website which you can go and check down below, so definitely make sure you go and check them out. 2 years later, I think I've gotten a good bit of traction. I think there's a good buzz around Limerick in terms of youth athletic development. I'm obviously aiming to stamp my mark and be the man, the go-to person, and make Fit 100 the go-to gym for your youth athletic development, because I don't think there is anyone else in Limerick, at least, that is doing what I'm doing to the level that I'm doing it. And I know that might sound a little bit arrogant or whatever, but I've no problem being confident about that, because I know it's true. And we are starting introduction to strength training course first time in Fit 100, so continuation of the courses I would have done over the last year or so, starting Tuesday 5th of June. More information can be found down below. There's been massive interest in it over the last couple of days, and hoping then to run them during the summer, and probably going to have to run a second one because we may be full. So incredibly excited about that, and thanks to everyone for your interest in it. Still circulate the word because there will be more than one, so don't worry about it if you can't get on this one. So from here now, I'm gonna go what my training philosophy is, or what my philosophy as a whole is around my coaching. Two, nutrition with regards to children, teenagers, and young athletes. And then three, my training approach with the groups that I work with. And then the last one will be how I transfer that to obviously working with adults, because I do a lot of the HIIT sessions in the gym. So obviously there has to be some kind of like crossover there, because there is crossover, but it's not like I wouldn't do the same with an adult that I would with a kid, because that's just not how it works. So my philosophy around my coaching comes down to 4 key principles. Okay, so the first one is, if you can create stronger kids, you develop healthier kids, and then you develop happier kids. You do those 3 things, and then you create, or you foster an environment where the kids are happy and they're confident, and they are more expressive than in, we'll say, social situations, in sporting situations, and then you can maybe mitigate the problems that you see at the older age groups, where you get kids dropping out because of the physical differences between players, and that becomes less of an issue. Kids who are less confident in themselves due to body composition worries, long term looking at it, they can start to be more involved in exercise, and those body composition issues don't kind of manifest themselves into mental health issues, because again, we don't want that, obviously. The second one, better movers create better athletes. So when you're working with kids, it's not just about making them strong. It's not just about getting a kid squatting heavy or benching or whatever it is. You've got to create better movers, because most of the kids that I work with are obviously involved in sport. I would say 75-80% of them are involved in some sport, and sport is unpredictable, in the sense that most sports involve a ball or an implement in which you have to throw, and the movement of that implement or ball is unpredictable, and as such then when the ball moves, you have to move in response to that. And if you only create strong athletes but you don't create better movers, are you really making them better at their sport, or are you just making them strong? They're not strength athletes, they're field sport athletes, so they need to be able to move. So again, the second philosophy point would be, create better movers, you create a better athlete. Third one then is, you improve the person and then you improve the athlete. So when you work with kids, it's not just about, again, building on the physical, it's building on the social skills, the psychological stuff, throwing challenges at them so that they can overcome them, but not throwing too many or too harsh a challenge, because then they get frustrated and they can drop out. So it's about kind of applying pressure when needed to help them grow. It's about backing off and making them feel like it's a safe place to be, like they can come and talk to you about certain things. It's about being a decent role model for them, and just kind of building a culture where if you're involved in that group, you are a good person, you clean up after you, you are respectful for other people, and doing things that you should be doing and not doing things that you shouldn't be doing. It is really simple when it comes down to that. And the last one, it's a simple one, but I think it's one where a lot of coaches who are involved in kids activities and kind of kids sports forget about. More fun equals more engagement equals better results. If you can create an environment where it's based around fun, then kids get involved in it. They're more likely to jump at the chance to get involved in something. The more engagement that you have within that activity, you're going to get better results for that. Because it's very hard to get results when you've got resistance to change or resistance to actually doing the activity that's going to bring those results. So sometimes it may not be pretty specific to the changes that you're going to make or the changes that you want to see, but you're getting engagement in what you're doing, and then the results, you're getting some adaptation where you're moving the needle, in a sense. Again, moving the needle in a positive direction to create a better mover, to create a better person, and then just developing a better athlete. From there we can move on to our nutrition, and here's a good time to introduce this.